Okay, so in today's video, I wanted to share with you how I deal with low-grade anxiety. And if you're in your head a lot and you find yourself overthinking, or maybe you're in a scenario where you're super isolated and you don't have, other people to really chime in on your situation and really give you a, third person's perspective. So I know for myself, literally just the other day, literally have one of those stints where I end up thinking about a certain topic for a total, like the whole day, and it's just this gnawing, lingering feeling that's in the back of my head. So there's 5 things that I typically go through that help me gain clarity and help me build a sense of momentum in a certain direction. So those are the 5 things I'm going to share with you specifically here today. So first and foremost is just cutting all stimulus. Okay, so turn off the music, turn off the lights, and just go into a quiet room where I usually sit down and just do some breath work. Okay, so I do what I call box breathing. So deep breath in, hold it for 4 seconds, and you breathe out, and you repeat that until your nervous system starts to slow down. And usually when your head's like really racing, for me, the thoughts are really loud. But once I focus just on the breathing specifically, my brain, slows down because my nervous system is having the opportunity to understand that there's no threats, there's nothing wrong in that exact moment, and I become a lot more present. Okay, so once I've down regulated my nervous system, I'm out of that sense of frustration. The next thing that I like to go ahead and do is I sit down and I just start writing, right? Whether that's on a piece of paper or whether that's just on my computer with the notes open, I usually just start writing. Like, I most of the time don't even have anything that's going on. I usually just write, like, where am I at? What am I doing? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling the way that I feel? And eventually, your brain starts narrowing down into a stream of consciousness where you can kind of go a little bit deeper than when you're just like trying to run through all of your thoughts in your head, right? Because if you're trying to like psychoanalyze yourself or really look at your situation in a different type of way, it can basically feel like your brain has too many windows open, right? You can't handle that many different thoughts and open loops at one point in time. So writing everything down for me just allows me to just understand what's going on, like what exactly is the circumstances or scenario that's causing me to feel the low-grade sense of anxiety. And usually it's something that's not being done, or it's a sense of urgency, or I feel behind, or there's just something that I need to talk myself through in order to give myself that sense of peace. And so by journaling, what ends up happening from that is the third thing that I end up being able to extract from just writing out my ideas, writing out what's going on, writing out how I'm feeling, is being able to gain clarity through a tangible plan. Okay, so the example that I had last, during this week was I had this like sense of uneasiness, mainly because I did a great job, doing my inputs. I went to the gym, ate my food, did my diet, did my outreach, did my spiritual work, right? Like, I was pretty dialed throughout the entire week, but I couldn't get over this sense that I, wasn't building leverage for myself. Because for me, doing the inputs, like, I had this confliction between, okay, like, I run a marketing company, I'm starting to land clients, but I feel like I'm wasting my time doing basic stuff. Obviously, with me making, well over $1 million before, my age now, 25, I just felt that sense of like frustration of how slow things are going, and I had this lack of patience. And so what I realized was that there's this contrast between my head of 2 different personalities that I have. So I have my subconscious brain and my subconscious default personality trait, which is very, high energy, very connective, very quick, and has a lot of bravado. This is more of like what I call my commander personality, right, from Myers-Briggs. Basically the one that's has a lot more extroversion. It's more of an expansive type of energy. When I realized that I've been this year specifically working on my operator energy and operator identity, which is basically my alter ego that I've learned to design for myself. And if you study anybody that does like sports at a very high level, they'll say that they have a alter ego that they tap into specifically. So for me, an operator is more of like strategic thinking, more patient, long-term thinking, and just being able to have that emotional neutrality that allows me to counteract these two. So the thing that I wasn't cognitive of this entire week was that I was always in this like mental state of confliction where I'm like in my subconscious brain, and I haven't been tapped into my conscious brain that allows me to have more patience, understand things from more of a strategy, and look at things from a high level, because I was just go the entire week, and I didn't give myself the time and the space to remove myself from stimulus like social media, talking to friends, whatever it is. I just needed to remove myself from that so I can look at my current situation from a 9,000 foot overview, look at the the chessboard, and understand what moves I could make given the resources that I have with finances, time, effort, and energy right now. And so that led me down to being able to concoct a plan that had a lot of clarity for it in terms of what I was going to do that would help me build leverage within my business, and what the next move was. So that gave me a lot of clarity. And once I had a lot of clarity, I had this plan, that sense of anxiety went away, because now I was like, okay, well, I know what to do now. And the thing is like, you just have to have like these loops designed into your week. So for example, today is Sunday. Every single Sunday I spend some time to journal and just reset and just look at what I did during the week that went well, what didn't go well, and just build that feedback loop in. Because if you're always in execution mode and you don't slow down, pump the brakes to really like look back, and you're not intentional about planning the times that you're going to do that, it's really easy to just like stay in the day-to-day minutia and really not allowing yourself to settle into more of a strategic thinking and a slower thought process, essentially. Okay, so then once you have your plan laid out, then obviously go ahead and take massive freaking action. That's number 4, right? Like, now that I have this laid out, I have my next week planned out, and I just am able to go and execute, and that's going to get rid of like all of that angst that I had. And usually the angst and anxiety comes from you not doing the things that you should be doing. And so after that point, number 5 is the most important part, which is have faith. And our Lord Jesus Christ will make any crooked path straight, and that He is there with you the entire time. He's there guiding you, and that being within His plan and His vision is feeling a sense of peace, right? And so as you have faith and you take actions and you go down the path that that you're supposed to be going down, just have faith that everything else is supposed to work out the way that it's supposed to.